All right, everybody, as promised, we are going to get started right away. And welcome. I'm just so excited to get started tonight. Actually, it's a good question. How long do we expect tonight to be? Tonight will be as long as it takes for you to be 100% convinced that you have everything it takes to be a success in the stock market. And tonight, I'm going to do my best to make that happen for you tonight. So I do things a little bit unorthodox sometimes. So what I am going to do is I'm going to stop sharing the screen, and I'm actually going to come back. I am going to come back off of the screen, and you will see me. Let's see, where are we? All right, there we are. Hey, I do everything a little bit off the cuff, but everything that we're going to cover tonight, I promise you, tonight is going to be one of the best investments of time that you will make. So I want you to read what's on the board there tonight. Normally I do my charts on the board, but it says winners take action. And right out of the gate, I'm going to give you a standing ovation for being here tonight, because not everybody is here. Not everybody wants to improve. Some people are probably home watching Netflix right now, and there's just so much opportunity. I'm excited that you're here tonight. So we're probably going to do around 40 minutes of education, and I promise you that we're going to keep everything we do is going to build and build and build and build on the previous piece. We're going to discuss 4 different steps of what it takes to move from struggling chart reader to somebody who can actually call themselves a trader. And I hope that you tonight, actually, I hope that you become a part of our community, because in my opinion, I really think that we have one of the most special communities out there from a stock trading perspective, because we really care about helping each other. And that's something that I'm really proud of. I'm most proud of the community. And tonight, like I said before, we're going to introduce the wall of success tonight, which is other people in the community and their success. I want to share their success with you tonight, so you can get some context on all the training that we're going to do tonight. So I'm going to head right back over to the presentation. I just wanted to introduce myself and just say I am so appreciative that you're here with me tonight. It really shows a lot of what you're made of by being here. You took action. Winners take action. So absolutely got the first step going. So we're going to actually head on over to the presentation now, and we'll get to see this absolutely fancy PowerPoint that I have built up. So I'm going to try and cover the questions as they are relevant to everything that we're discussing. So I'm actually going to shut my video off so you don't have to see me in the corner there. Let's see, Mark's asking, a lot of the stocks back down this afternoon. Can you give us some insight on that? Yeah, Mark, we're actually going to cover, hey, Dennis, what's up, buddy? We're actually going to cover a lot of what happened in the market the last 5 days, because as you saw in the email that I sent out today, you know what? I'm actually going to come back on the screen. I'll be in the corner, because here I am. I talk with my hands a lot, so that's what you're going to get tonight. The last 5 days of trading, and when we say 5 days of trading, last Wednesday to today, where the market was ready to fall off a cliff and giant red candles selling all over the place, leading to a couple of days in the chaos that was September, into just amazing trading the last couple of days. We were all over it. We had minimum criteria of what was needed to start looking to either sell short or be long. If you don't like to sell short, went to be in cash. And that's a big part of what we're going to talk about tonight. So I'm super excited to walk you through the process of what I do and what my community does. And then maybe later you might make a decision. You might decide to join us. That's completely up to you. Only you could make that decision, but we're going to get going. So the New York method is what it's called. We're going to discuss what it's about, where it came from, how and why it works. And when I introduce the wall of success to you tonight, you're going to see that it's not just me saying that, it's members of the community. So first, I want to really get across what tonight is all about, and the big promise that I'm going to make to you about tonight's training. It's a live training event. Part of it is stuff I've done before, but really every single day, every single minute in the market, things change. So what doesn't change is the strategy. What doesn't change is the edge. What does change, which is what separates somebody who's struggling and can't get to the other side. God, I know everything, but I can't make a dime. What changes is how you apply the strategy. So for example, there's been some tough days trading this month where August was straight up, September was down, and we went sideways and down again and up and down, and it was challenging. This is what separates somebody from somebody who makes money versus somebody who is up and down and up and down, or even losing money, from those who go to the market every day, like myself and like members of the community, where they expect to make money if it's obvious. So we make a game plan, which starts every day at 8:45 every morning. And what we're about to cover is a part of what we look at in the game plan. And then when the market opens, you know exactly what you're looking at, and everything else is off the table. Nothing matters. News doesn't matter. Something else, somebody else called out in the chat room. Nothing matters. You're going to know exactly which stocks. I'm even going to take it down tonight where we're going to talk about, you might have a list of, let's say, 10 or 15 stocks, which might be considered a big list, and then tell you exactly how to find the right stocks to trade from that list of 15 stocks down to the stocks that you should be trading at that exact moment. So you can have a big list, and in an instant, with what I'm going to show you tonight, you'll know exactly which ones you should be trading. So the promise for tonight, for you investing your time tonight, is never again be confused, overwhelmed, or afraid of the stock market. Now, there's so much going on, and we actually mentioned it today in the community that today was exhausting. This month was exhausting. There was news every single day, that politics and stimulus package and everything going on. But if you know what you're looking at, and please, I really want you to write this down. If you know what you're looking at, and more specifically, if you know what you're looking for, you'll never be confused again. And that's what we're going to cover tonight. You first need to understand what you're looking for, how to define an edge, only allocate capital when that edge is there, and then the very last step, which is what I call the B strategy, between entry and exit, is what happens after you put the trade on. Between entry and exit, that's where the money's made. That's what separates somebody who has an account versus somebody who has an account that's growing. So after tonight, you will understand how to be the smart money. That sounds pretty good, doesn't it? That's what we're going to talk about tonight. Yep, Tony, the recording will be available probably tomorrow. Probably tomorrow. So we're going to kick it off, and I have one really big thing, and it is a super common question that comes up. Is this for day trading? Is this for swing trading? So let's cover it first. Obviously, we're stock trading pros, so we're talking about trading stocks. You could trade as little as 100 shares with what we're about to cover tonight, or up to as much as you believe you can handle. But I want to make this clear because it's a common question that we get when new members come into the community or aspire to join the community. I work a full-time job. Is this for me? I want to learn how to trade full-time. Is this for me? Should I quit my job and become a full-time trader? What we're going to cover tonight first starts out with swing trading. So even if you have a full-time job, what we're going to teach you tonight is applicable. We have that game plan meeting every day at 8:45. You have that recording, even if you can't attend the call. So all of the ideas are what we call in the order flow time frame, which is the larger time frame. If you happen to be a day trader, which I'm sure a lot of people on the call tonight are, you will, and please write this down, the best trades, the easiest trades, the ones that fly off your fingertips where you say, oh my gosh, that was easy. Those are the ones on the higher time frame where order flow exists that you would swing trade in the first place. Also the same stocks you would day trade. Because if you would swing trade it and you think it's going up for the next 5 days, of course you should be looking for those trades to be as a day trade idea as well. So I want to make that clear right out of the gate. It's swing trading and day trading. Doesn't matter if you have a full-time job. If you are trading full-time, obviously you want to be in the community with us during the day to see the exact entries and exits that I give out all day, as well as the members of the community. That's also another big question we get. Will you walk us through the trades? And the answer is yes. I literally tell you the exact stock and the exact moment to get into the trade. And then as the day unfolds, I'm teaching you how to be a trader by managing the trade, managing the position with you by saying, where are you in? What's going on? How many shares do you have? All of that kind of stuff. Is this a day trade? Is it a swing trade? Directly asking me questions while it's going on. So all of that is what we're going to learn tonight. So before we get to the next part, there's a very big question I want to ask, which will really give me an assessment of who is on tonight's training. So I want to run a quick poll, and I'd really appreciate, one of the biggest things in the community, you'll always hear me say, participate, participate, participate. You see it on the screen, winners take action. So I want to ask you a quick question. How much do you risk per trade? What dollar amount do you risk per trade? I want to get an idea of your experience level. I want to get an idea of what you believe is risk. Yes, we do trade options. We talk about options quite a bit during the day. So 3 to 5%. If you can give me a dollar amount, that would be terrific. If you can give me a dollar amount, because obviously everybody has different dollar amounts in their account. 10,000, 1,000, 5,000, 250, 100, 2,000, 5,000. Wow. 4,000 per trade. All right. So we got some newer traders in here. Awesome. 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 And look, I'm going to say this right out of the gate as well. Because you're participating right now, that's why you're a winner. That's what it takes. You're not sitting in the background saying, I'll wait for somebody else to ask the question. This is what you're going to get from me tonight. And if you're fortunate enough to take the next step and be a part of my community, I will literally ask you, what are you thinking? I want you to learn. I want you to be the reason that you make money. So it looks like we're averaging, based on what everybody typed in right now, somewhere between $500 and $2,000 per trade. That's the ballpark. So if somebody could just take a note, write that down. We're talking about per trade, $500 to $2,000 per trade. Normal for active traders really depends on your experience level. One thing I want to give you a quick tip, write this down. You should always risk the same dollar amount, but you're going to adjust your share size based on volatility. Mike PQ, 25,000. All right. All right, we got some big swingers in here. Okay, so let's make sure we mentally write that down. 500 to around 2,000. Some traders with a lot more than that. So really, really some traders that know what they're doing. Awesome, awesome. All right, so I want to discuss, we obviously call this the New York method. I want to discuss where the New York method comes from, what it is called. This bar in New York City is on 35th Street between 7th and 8th Avenue. Very quick story. I had my trading office was right around the block from this. It was right next to Penn Station in New York City, right next to Madison Square Garden. And this was the bar that we went to after a couple of tough days. And I happened to meet somebody down there in 2007 who happened to be a broker on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. So at that time, I was actually trading a lot of momentum stocks. I was trading NASDAQ stocks. I was doing what we call tape reading. Fast trades in and out, reading the next move, how fast it went up, looking for reversals, that kind of thing. These guys on the floor of the exchange were working orders. Some of them were specialists, some of them were brokers, some of them were floor clerks. We ended up having a conversation, and lo and behold, when the New York Stock Exchange changed the execution system from SuperDot into these hybrid systems, or now the electronic systems that we know, a lot of these floor brokers and New York Stock Exchange specialists, and I had a couple of NASDAQ market makers come up and trade in my office. So I taught them about tape reading. They taught me about order flow, and we had this crescendo of what I believe is the world's perfect and easiest to apply trading system, which you'll hear me talk a lot about being the smart money. What we're going to talk about is order flow is the market. Order flow is what pushes the stock from 50 to 100. What pushes the stock from 100 down to 75. It's order flow. It's the smart money. It's the large money. Now, I want to get this across, and I want you to write this down because it's super important. A lot of people believe that you need to pick a top, pick a bottom, and you need to get in or out at the same spot, at the extreme of the move. You don't have to. What we're going to talk about tonight is once you identify what the smart money is doing, once you identify what the order flow is at that moment and over time, you're looking to catch the middle. You're looking to catch the meat of the move. You're looking to lower your risk in exchange for the highest probability of profit. So this gentleman ended up bringing all those people to my trading floor. It started in this bar. It's actually still there if you want to Google it, Blackguards, and it just became something really, really special. So that meeting between the two of us, you can see actually on a napkin from the bar, order flow equals the big money. And whether or not it's done electronically now or people standing on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, it doesn't make a difference. I'm going to show you tonight, literally tick by tick, chart by chart, how to spot the smart money and how to find the highest probability trade. So if you could just do me a favor, type into the room right now, type in a yes if you thought September was challenging. Type in a yes. If you're a full-time active trader, type in a yes. Okay, awesome. So here's what I want to get across, and this is something that you'll find from me quite a bit. I thought September was challenging too. Anybody who tells you it wasn't is full of beans. This was a month where August was super easy. September was you had to put on your overalls and really, really get into knowing your stuff. So here's the key that I want to take out of now that September's over, but I want you to take it into next month. I promised tonight was going to be training, something you could use that's actionable right away. If you want to make the leap from chart reader who's getting their head banged around every time you put on a trade, you're like, oh my gosh, every time I put this trade on, it's a losing trade, or I can't even get up to go get a coffee or a glass of water. It's because you don't understand how to read the order flow yet. And if you want to make the leap from struggling to confused to, quite honestly, frustrated, what we did this month was we dialed back how aggressive we were because the tape changed. So when you understand order flow, when you understand when it's obvious and what that needs to look like, now you're looking at the charts and you're saying, I can't see anything. It's not obvious to me. That's when you lower your exposure, what we call work your orders, and you get feedback from the market because the probability is lower. You have some B+ ideas, but not necessarily an A+ idea. That's when you really have to work hard. So if you wrote yes, I'm going to say yes with you. And again, anybody who says it wasn't, they're not actually trading. So what we're going to talk about now is how do you handle when it's not obvious? And if you want to act like a pro, we talk about that all the time, hashtag trade like a pro in our community. That means that you have to recognize the conditions of when it's awesome and go and make what you're supposed to and then dial it back. And here's the key, even being okay with doing nothing. I want you to write this down. We don't get paid by the trade. We don't get paid by the hour. We get paid to trade well, and we get paid by the month. So you need to be patient to wait for great trades. And if you have a trade that's a B+ or maybe an A-, which we're going to walk through tonight, you need to work those orders because it's not perfect. Even yesterday, we discussed the difference between what are the conditions to trading breakouts that follow through versus the conditions where you take breakouts and they fall back. You take breakouts and they fall back, which was September, and you're probably going crazy. So we talked about that in the community, that this is the condition where you should probably be waiting for a pullback in the direction of the idea. So these are the little things that you get every single day when you really want to make the leap and say, I know what I'm doing. You look in the mirror and you say, I know what I'm doing, because you know what you're looking at. And the first thing we're going to talk about is order flow. We're going to get into that right now. So let's head on back over. I'm going to answer the questions as much as I can. All right, so that was the birth of the New York method. That was how I met that gentleman. His name was Bobby Quinn, but his name actually was called Sweaty. I'm sure that's a story you might have heard before. But what I want to talk about first, just to give you a little bit of a heads up of some of the members of our community. I guess you could say I'm like a proud member of the community. You can see some results, a little bit of what's going on. For me to be up here and sound all excited and everything like that, that's one thing. I think it's something completely different when members of the community are having success. And you can ask anybody, I don't know if anybody happens to be in the room now who's in the community. I never take credit. I'm always deflecting success back onto you because I want you to be the reason you make money. I will show you what to do. I will walk you through what to do. I will tell you if you're doing something that's way out of left field because I want you to learn. But at the end of the day, all I care about is you succeeding. So I get very excited when people in our community do well. And like I said before, tonight I'm going to introduce you to the wall of success, which is a little bit more of this. But I want to focus on this one that Brian wrote up here in the corner. And it's all about this, feeling more in control and seeing everything more clearly. That's what I want to get across, because that's why we talked about the difference between August and September. August was very obvious and the market cleaned up a lot of mistakes. September, you had to really understand what you were doing. And as you see what Brian says here, feeling in control that's the greatest thing I could give you. When you wake up and say, if there's money to be made, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it if it's out there. And you know what? The opposite is true as well, which we talk a lot about in the community also. If it's tough, I want you to pull back, lower your share size, get a cup of coffee, preserve precious capital until you have better conditions to make money. That's the big thing. So who is this presentation before? So before we discussed a little bit about share size, we discussed risk per trade, we discussed how much you risk per trade. What I'm going to talk about now is I want you to visualize one of three types of traders, okay? One of three types. So first there's the brand new trader. You're probably overwhelmed. There's so much going on. You're afraid of missing out. You just want to be involved. Your account's open. You're like, I have to trade. The market's open. It's moving. I have to trade. And you put a couple of trades on. You burn yourself. And you're like, all right, I don't know what I'm doing. That is the single biggest reason I am happy for you to be here tonight, because I'm going to show you exactly what to look at. But here's the thing that you need to learn tonight, and I need you to visualize into the future the feeling that you're going to have when the market opens and you're calm as a cucumber saying, I'm only looking for what's in my watch list right now. I'm only looking for the stocks we talked about in the game plan. I'm only looking for what I have in my list today. Nothing else matters. Doesn't matter what happens on the news. Doesn't matter what Jim Cramer said. You need to learn first. Write this down if you believe you're a new trader. And a new trader is anybody trading less than 6 months. Let's just get that out there so we can qualify that, quantify that. You need to learn first what to look at. You need to learn second how to not lose money. And third, then you need to learn to act and think like a trader. How many people believe that they're a new trader based on that definition? Type in yes. If you believe that you're a new, whether it's 6 months or your experience level, type in if you believe that you're a new trader. Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. So again, so now you can visualize, I just gave you the 3 steps, the single biggest things you need to look for. Number 1 is you need to understand what to look at. I'm going to give you the edge tonight. Number 2, you need to learn first how to not lose money, which means what? Which means when you see good ideas, you allocate capital. When you don't see good ideas, you need to do nothing. And the biggest, most exciting thing you could say to me, type into our Slack community, say, Pete, I don't see anything. And I get a big smile on my face. You know why I get a big smile? Because that means you know what you're looking for and nothing else matters. So if you're a new trader, that's the promise I'm going to give you tonight. The next person is probably the most passionate in the world because you know everything, every chart pattern, every indicator. You have 5 monitors all over the place, but you can't make any money. You are probably the smartest trader out there. Every single thing about technical analysis you know. You read every blog, every forum, everything on CNBC and Bloomberg, but you can't make a dime. And what's worse is you keep trying to do it over and over and over and over again, and you just can't figure out what you're missing. I promise you, I've been there. There's nothing more frustrating than feeling like you are so close, one thing away. Just tell me what the one thing is, and everything will turn around for you. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, the single biggest thing that you're missing is you're not paying attention. And I'm going to show you tonight what that means. Paying attention means that you stop doing what's not working. Because here's the deal. I felt this way the same as you did, where I'm like, I know everything. Why am I not making money? Type yes if you could visualize that's you. Why am I not making money? I'm smarter than this guy. I work harder than this guy, this woman, whatever it happens to be. Why am I not making money? It's because you're not paying attention to your results. You're shielding yourself. No, that's not a negative trade. No, that's not a losing trade. You know what? The market is going to tell you exactly what you need to stop doing and how to get to the other side. That's what I give you. If you happen to be fortunate enough to join my community and we happen to work together, I promise you, and you can ask anybody who's on this call right now who happens to be in our community or who's worked with me in the past, I promise you, I will get you to participate so that we can talk about what's not working, so we can stop doing it, and this on the screen is not you anymore. Doesn't that sound awesome? Wouldn't it be great to finally get to the other side where all of that hard work you put in, now it's paying you? That's why you're here tonight at 7:25 on a Wednesday night, because you care that much to be here. That's what I want to give you tonight. And last but not least is actually somebody who understands the first part of what we just talked about, understands how to not lose money, understands what to look for. This person hasn't learned how to make money yet. This person has the losses controlled. This person has the patience controlled, but they aren't understanding when to size up, when to trade multiple positions, when the whole market's on the same side. and everything's in the same page. You know what this person does? This person turns a $5,000 profit into 1,000. That's not what we want to do. We want to do the opposite. So when you got a big fish on the hook, when you got 3 good trades and the VIX is trending down, the trend is trending down, the ticks are going up, that whole sector is obvious. I'm going to walk you through to hold those trades. And a big thing that we talk about in the community every single day is, how do I assess my profit potential? We have 8 different ways of assessing profit potential. 8. They all apply to different circumstances, but 8. Let me tell you something. A lot of people can look at a chart and say, there's my stop loss. That's where I'm getting out. That's the easy part. How do you assess how much money is available? If this is you, where you're not losing money anymore, you're actively trading, you're back and forth all day, you make money 2 days, give it back the next day, make money the next 2 days, lose money the next day, we're going to stop that. You're going to go past break even and get to the point where you're holding the right trades. You're holding the right trades. We had a trade in Roku last week that went up $26 in one day. One trade can make your month if you're in the right trade. Okay? So, very quick question. Let's see if we get some participation here. What is the single biggest obstacle to trading success, regardless of your experience level? What do you think? Kobe, there will be a recording probably in about a day or so. Okay, Steven says, fear, holding too long. Mark Murphy. Scott, that's a pretty good one yourself. Risk management, mindset, confidence. Yeah, we're going to talk about confidence tonight, because confidence comes from knowing what to do. All right, some awesome answers. Not following the rules. Yep, that implies you have rules in the first place, right? All right, so in my opinion, and based on my experience, I'll give you a little rundown of my experience in just a minute. It's not about me tonight, it's about you. Here's the biggest obstacle to trading success. You spend all of your time trying to be a better chart reader. Stop trying to be a better chart reader. You didn't open your trading account to be the world's greatest chart reader. You opened your account to make money. You're focusing on the wrong goal. You want to make money. That's why you became a trader. I am telling you right now, and everybody who is in my community right now can attest to this, and hopefully some people in the room can attest to this. We keep it as simple as possible. We want it to be easy to execute, easy to see. We do not need to be the greatest chart readers on the planet. We need to be the most profitable traders on the planet. So what's the reason this is the big mistake? You're chasing the wrong goal. You are chasing the wrong goal of trying to learn more indicators, 17 monitors, everything you could possibly put on TradeStation or eSignal or TradingView or whatever you're looking at. We want to be the most profitable traders. So if that's your goal, that's why you're going in circles. Chart reading is not trading. And if you really are all in on this concept, I would love for you to be able to put on a Post-it pad right now, put it on your monitor so you're staring at it every single day. Chart reading is not trading. Trading is believing in your edge, putting on the trade, and managing what happens between entry and exit. Scaling back when it's not working, scaling back when it's tough, scaling up when it's good, holding those winners when it's good. That has nothing to do with the 5-minute bull flag in whatever stock you're looking at. What happens between entry and exit is what makes you special. And that's what we're going to cover tonight. Okay? So reading charts and making money are different skills. And I'm telling you right now, I think all of us, and myself included, after 20 years of trading, there's never been a more true statement than that these are 2 completely different things. And I have a stack of books, bookshelf right behind me. Every charting book you could imagine. You want to know something? All I use are candlesticks, and we'll show you that in a couple of minutes. Why? Because that's all that matters. So tonight we're going to improve your trading, not your chart reading. We want to work on getting paid. And if that really means something to you, you're going to pay attention tonight. And the fact that you're here, again, I'm going to give you a standing ovation for investing in yourself tonight, because it tells me a lot. I can't express, the harder you work when we're working together, the harder I'll work for you. I'm telling you, people are in the room here tonight. I give and give and give. All I'm asking is you participate, and you're here tonight. So I just want you to know how much I appreciate that. So what are some of the reasons, a little bit more broken down? Trading too big. Now, I will tell you this. This is probably the biggest one that holds people back with it. I want to get in there and make money. I have this big account. I need to trade big. what ends up happening? You end up trading your dollar amount instead of trading the trade. You end up being fearful of a profit disappearing. You end up hoping losses come back. Everything's all messed up because you're trading too big. I implore you, trade 100 shares while you're learning. I don't care how big your account is. Learn to produce P&L first. Learn to produce a positive profit statement. And then when you understand what A+ trades look like, then you size up. Some other reasons you don't have an edge tonight, I'm going to take care of that for you. Emotional trading. In the next section, I am going to show you how to completely eliminate all emotion from your trading. And I'm not talking about trading like Mr. Robot or Spock or anything along those lines. It's a mindset that I call 10 perfect trades that we're going to cover in a second. Your stop loss is always too tight. And remember, we started tonight out talking about a stop loss. I'm going to discuss this in a little bit tonight too. Struggling because you're afraid to lose money, but you're also afraid to accept that risk. We're going to talk about how to set the right stop loss within the parameters of the trade. So if you got to let it breathe a little bit, and if the right trades come up, they'll work out right away. If you get stopped out, big deal. Write this down. We talk about it all the time in our community. A trading loss is a business expense. If you learn nothing else from me tonight, if you decide this is not for you tonight, write that down. It will completely shift everything that you see in the markets. A trading loss is a business expense to run your trading business. First big tip of the night. All right. Number two, next one is never have enough shares in the right trades, right? So this actually means that your winning trades are hurting you because you're not making enough on them, believe it or not. Next, you exit your winners too soon. And we're going to talk about order flow tonight. You're going to understand when to hold your winners longer, which is a big deal. And probably the most expensive one is stubbornly holding on to your losers too long. Look, in this day and age of practically trading for zero commissions, there is no reason in the world to hold a trade that's not working out. Scale back, get out, set your alert, and get back into the trade the next time it trades up to the level that you want it to be. All right? So there's only one reason you're not reaching your goals. And again, something that I think is kind of interesting, which I definitely talk about a lot in our community. I'm passionate about these topics because I went through all of this. I studied too many charts. I wasn't making money. I was smart, and then I got to the other side, and I got to what I believe was the one reason that I wasn't making money. And that was the last part. That experienced trader who knows everything, stop losing money, is my winning trades were killing my profit and loss. I wasn't making enough money on my winners, which means trading bigger, trading more shares, and holding longer. When you understand the conditions, understand order flow, understand how to read the tape, you fully understand when to hold those winners. And we have some really nice wins and celebrations in the community. We actually have a little piece in the community where we talk about points earned, where members of the community can share in their success, I guess is the best way to put it. So after 30 days, anyone can set a stop loss, right? Learning how to find, hold, and scale your winners. That's why you're here tonight. Anybody can say, that's my stop loss, put in the stop loss, program it in. Tonight, you want to learn how to find the trades that should be big winners first, and then learn how to hold them. Type yes if that sounds good. Type yes, say that's what I'm here for. I'm excited. I get all excited. I have to let me make sure I don't have coffee before these calls. Okay, awesome, awesome. So the hidden breakthrough that you're missing, what we're going to discuss tonight, and in a big way, all trades are not the same. And remember, we just spoke before about August versus September. I think it's absolutely the absolute perfect time to discuss this, because it's very easy to say August was easy money, everything came up, everything pulled up. But real traders assess every single day, what are the odds of making money now? And you'll hear me talk about order flow conviction versus day trading conviction. And I'm going to show you that minimum criteria today. But remember, out of everything we talk about tonight, we still need to work together so that when you're actually in the trade, I can walk you through what happens between entry and exit. We actually had a scenario today in the market where one of our favorite market internals called the ticks. And I just want to walk you through this very quickly because it's a good point. And this is really the value of actually doing this together in real time and learning how to be a trader in real time together. there's an indicator called the New York Stock Exchange tick, or the ARMS index, and it measures upticking volume versus downticking volume. And what it does is it kind of confirms if the market's going up, it's like, okay, a lot of the money's doing the same thing. A lot of the money's doing the same thing. But today, there was one circumstance about a half an hour before it happened. I pointed out to everybody in the community, if this happens, don't be long anymore. Trail your stops and look for the market to reverse. And lo and behold, within a half an hour, the market made a new high. And we normally watch the SPY ETF. The market made a new high, but the ticks made a lower high. So that meant that underneath all of the market indexes making new highs, there weren't the same amount of stocks making new highs. So the buying pressure was stalling out while the market was still making a new high. That's the difference between seeing every trade is the same, share size, management, all of that kind of thing, versus saying, whoa, something changed. And in the community, we say the tape changed. And if the tape changes, you have to adjust how you trade. Scale out, get out, add more shares. That's what we're talking about. So it was really exciting. We actually had these new quick one-hit videos that we do during the day where I'll record like a 90-second or a 3-minute video and pop it into the community and explain exactly what's going on. So that's how a good explanation, literally from today's trading, that all trades aren't the same. And that's the difference between chart reading and trading. When you understand little stuff like that, that keeps money in your pocket. And that makes such a big difference over the month. You can see I'm getting excited because I love to share this stuff. So we're going to head back over to the screen. And once you understand that all trades are not the same, that means, what's the next thing? Now, obviously, you need to understand some trades are great, some are okay, some trades are a really bad idea. But all of this stems from order flow, okay? Great trades, perfect trades offer both probability and accepted risk. It's funny that everybody throws out risk reward 3-to-1, risk reward 4-to-1. Yeah, but what are the odds of you actually making the 4? That's what we're going to talk about next, okay? Struggling traders only focus on the risk reward. They don't talk about what are the odds or the probability of actually getting paid. So probability equals trade expectation, okay? So it answers the question for me, what are the odds of my profit target being hit versus my stop loss? I'd love for you to write that down, because when you're in your next trade, you have to say to yourself, how strong is my edge? That's the whole reason for putting on a trade, and I'm going to give you my edge tonight. This answers the question, what are the odds of my profit target versus my stop loss being hit? So again, obviously, have you ever held a winner too long? Sure. Who hasn't had a winner go up and then come all the way back, or not held a winner long enough? That's what we're going to talk about tonight, how to recognize the difference in those market conditions. So winners, consistent winners, you see their account go up month after month after month after month, know the expectation before the trade. Now you might be saying, how do you know what's going to happen before the trade? It's not what I said. I said what we know is how long we should hold the trade before we put the trade on. Think about that. You're actually seeing into the future because you set the trade up properly using order flow, which is what we're going to discuss in a second. So winners, people who take money out of the market week after week after week, month after month after month. And I want that to be you. I want that for you so badly because you're spending the time with me tonight. Winners know trade management before you put the trade on. Before you put the trade on. So if every trade looks the same, you don't have an edge. So right now we're going to get into exactly what that means. Just a very tiny introduction to who I am. It's already a half hour into the presentation. Some of you might know me, some of you might not. My name is Pete Renzulli. I might have messed up at the beginning. I might not have said who I am. Sorry about that. I've been trading for a while. 2020 has been just an amazingly crazy and insanely good year as well. I got married this year, actually in my backyard because of what's going on in the world right now. We had this big, beautiful wedding planned and didn't happen. So we made the most of it. And that's what winners do. Winners will take action. And look, if you write anything else down about tonight, it doesn't matter what happens. How you handle it will show you what you're made out of. That's what I want to hopefully get across to you. And if you're part of my community, I got your back. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I'm very excited and I'm very grateful, actually. So that's a part of what happened to me this year, but a little bit about why I feel qualified to mention tonight. Yes, this is being recorded, so don't worry about it. We'll make sure you get the link. So I own 2 firms in New York City. At one point, we had over 300 traders trading our capital. Keystone Trading, you can see in the corner here, was my firm. We were on 34th Street and 7th Avenue, literally across the street from Macy's. If you know New York City, that Citibank building there. From 2003 to 2011, I had two firms. Keystone Trading Group was the second one. But I think this is the most important part of the whole thing, and you know, hopefully why you're on the call tonight. Our firm profitably was trading 500 million shares per month. That's a lot of trading. You really need to have an idea what you're doing, and that's what I'm going to impart to you tonight. That's what I'm really excited to share with you tonight. And I've been mentoring traders since 2006, so I do have a very big history in the business. It's over 20 years now, and I'm very excited to share this with you tonight. So today I'm going to show you my goal. My goal today is to give you my edge, and just as importantly, show you how to use it, and then hopefully you'll be interested in actually trading with me in real time. That's something that I really hope you take advantage of tonight. So you're going to get my goal tonight, but most importantly, I think this little blue dots, I think, are the most important part, right? All of the stuff we're going to talk about tonight, that's awesome, but you want to know how to use it. When the market opens tomorrow, you're like, I know what I'm looking at. That's what I want to give you tonight. There's nothing worse in the world than be like, there's so much going on. It's all over the place. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to show you how to use it tonight. That's the big thing. So what we're going to talk about tonight. Now, there's 4 steps and only 4 steps. Nothing that you can't do like that tomorrow. As a matter of fact, I'm going to say it's simple and easy, but the next step is actually applying it, developing the habit. So first thing we're going to talk about is 10 perfect trades. Next thing we're going to talk about is order flow, which we've obviously been talking a little bit about tonight. Next, we're going to talk about tape reading. And finally, the whole reason we're all here tonight is trading like a pro. That last part is the golden goose of why everybody is on this call tonight. Because again, we can all look at charts, know exactly what we're looking at, but the bottom line is, can you actually trade like a pro and take money out of the market? Can you wake up every day and say, you know what? If there's money out there today, I'm going to get it. And you know what? If it's choppy all over the place and it doesn't make any sense, I'm a pro. I'm perfectly okay with doing nothing because it's my first job to preserve my capital. My second job is to allocate capital when it's worth it. So we're going to first talk about the golden part of this whole thing, which is understanding the right mindset to be a trader. Now, remember a little bit earlier, I told you that we're going to show you how to completely eliminate the fear of losing money. How's that for like a pause for effect? The fear of losing money is going to vanish like that tonight. Now, I didn't say you are not going to lose money. If you go back a little bit, I said that trading losses are expected. They're a part of the probabilities and they're an expense. But 10 perfect trades is going to show you why you always feel close but can't get to the other side. All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about in the 4 steps to success is 10 perfect trades. So let's assume for every 10 perfect trades that you make, now I keep saying perfect, you need to know what an A+ trade looks like. And this is a big deal because, and I'm just going to come back just really, really quick. You need to know what perfect looks like, because if every trade looks the same, you don't understand when your edge is there. So we're going to start out with first assuming, which we're going to cover tonight, if you understand what perfect looks like, and I'm going to show you a chart in the market right now of a stock that we've been trading all week, and you say, how did I miss that? When you understand what to look at, when you understand what perfect looks like, anything that's not perfect starts to work your conviction level down, which now you start to get to the point where you're like, well, I need to work my order, I need to get feedback versus I need to get coffee and get away from my monitor. So tonight, 10 perfect trades is the goal. 10 perfect trades where if I do everything right at the end of those 10 trades, the odds are pretty darn good I'm going to make money. That's what we're going to cover right now. Okay? So I'm going to head on back over to this fancy schmancy PowerPoint. So first, let's assume for every 10 trades that you make that are perfect and manage them properly, you will earn money. So let's just say you have an edge. Let's say that your mind is an algorithm and make the right trade, make the right trade, make the right trade. Every 10 trades you'll make money because you manage them properly, right? Next, this is the very definition of an edge. So this is the part that really everybody here tonight at some point has been frustrated. Everybody is like, oh, why, right? Why did that trade lose money? Why did that trade make money? Why? Who cares why? Who cares? The only thing that matters is you have an edge. And let's define this. An edge means over time. It doesn't mean trade by trade by trade by trade. You'll drive yourself bananas. Can you please make me a promise right now? Please make me a promise to not every single trade say, that made money, that one lost money, that made money, that lost. Stop that. That's not what professional traders do. Professional traders put on a good trade, manage risk and leverage. Put on a trade, man. That's it. Put on a trade, get a head start. Put on a trade, get a head start. That's the definition of trading your edge. We have zero idea which of the 10 will make or lose money. So raise your hand right now, just very quickly. I can't see it, but raise your hand. Have you ever put on a trade where the first time you put it on, and let's just use simple examples right now, stock pushed up and paused, and you're like, this is great. It's going to the moon. You put it up, push, pause, and drops like a stone. 5 minutes later, pushes up, pauses. It's a different stock. This one rockets higher. Same exact setup. Has that happened to you? It's happened to me, right? That's proof. We have no idea which trade is going to make money. All we need to do is put on trades that match our edge. That is so important and worth every minute of you being here tonight to finally pull all of that stress out of the equation of will this trade make money, will it won't. Raise your hand, type in yes if you've ever hesitated to get into a trade. I used to, I don't anymore. Why don't I hesitate? Because if my trade is there, I put the trade on, I put the trade on, I put the trade on for the very reason all of us just admitted, we don't know which trade is going to be profitable. So if we have no idea which trade is going to be profitable, but we do know which trades are good, doesn't it make sense then? Just put the trade on and let it unfold and take all of that stress off of whether or not it's going to make money. Stop hesitating. Trade with confidence because you know what you're doing, not because you know what's going to happen next. Nobody can predict the market at all. There's a lot of people that might feel like they can, but you doubt that? Google it right now, the stock market today. I guarantee you'll have 10 different sites with 10 different opinions. You know what opinion matters the most? Yours. Yours. Your opinion of the market and what I'm going to show you tonight with order flow, tape reading, and everything that we're going to cover tonight. So, if you have proof and you have a track record, which is why you expect to make money and why you follow and allow your edge to do the work. So really the bottom line here is, I don't want to get too detailed into this, but the bottom line is this. If you can imagine 10 trades, just visualize 10 trades that you made this week. If they were perfect, you should have made money. But what happens if they're not perfect? That's what we're going to cover tonight. So if you put an edge to work, it works for you, it works for you, it works for you, right? So what does that look like? That looks like this. We have 10 trades, all really good ideas. You're making the edge do the work. We have no idea if trade 1, 3, 5, 6, or 9 are going to be profitable, but we have to put them on. Please promise me the next trade you make, put it on right away, because all of us have no idea which one of those are going to be the profitable trade. Remove all of that stress and start to act like a pro in your mind right now. But what happens if you make 10 trades, and maybe you did this today, maybe you did it this week, but only 6 were perfect. But you know you need to make 10 to get paid. Then what? For our edge to work, you now need to place 4 more trades. This is where if you're trading, you feel like you're reaching a balloon in the one of those balloons in the pool where you can't quite reach it. It keeps getting pushed away, pushed away, pushed away. This is why you always feel close. If you raised your hand at the beginning of the presentation and said, I feel close, but I can't get to the other side, this is why. Now you need to make 14 trades for what should have taken you 10 because you didn't understand what a perfect trade looked like. This is mind-blowing stuff that's so simple, you just need to be introduced to it. So every trade that you make that is not perfect, you are literally pushing success further and further away. Think about that. So what does that look like? This is what it looks like. You're in an endless circle of frustration where you make 10 good trades, but you had 12 bad trades around it. So you made some money, lost some money, made some money, lost some money. So you know what? Being a success is 100% in your control. The first thing you need to do, though, is to understand what great trades look like that become 10 perfect trades. So if this matches your experience, I feel for you because I've been there myself, and it's our job to work together to get past this so you understand what a good trade looks like. You learn to get away from those losing trades and learn how to hold your good trades longer. That's what that looks like. If you can imagine right now, all of your trades on a screen thrown out there, you could literally see why it's taking a long time. It's because of those trades you should have never taken in the first place. That's $1 million advice right there. That will make or save you a fortune. Just understanding the reason why you always feel close, but you can't get there. So focusing on 10 perfect trades eliminates all stress for two reasons. Number one, we have no idea which trade is going to be successful. And number two, there's no stress anymore. There's no hesitation because we don't know which trade is going to be successful. But you do need an edge. You absolutely need an edge, which is the next thing we're going to talk about, which is order flow. Okay? Order flow is the foundation of those 10 perfect trades. It is the literal definition of the edge. You hear me talk about it all the time. If you happen to be on our newsletter, if you hear me in the YouTube videos, order flow is what we're after. It's an edge that's always on the right side of the money, and that's because it is the smart money. People ask me all the time, is this hedge funds? Is it banks? It's all of those things. Benjamin Graham called it Mr. Market. I'm calling it the smart money because it's the smart money that's pushing that stock in one direction right now. We want to piggyback that money. We want to piggyback their research. We want to piggyback all of their money. Doesn't it make sense to follow the smart money as opposed to trying to figure it out with a 5-minute inverse upside down RSI stochastic overbought reading when all you have to do is say, they're buying it right now. Where do we get in? Am I exaggerating? Absolutely not. Trading can be that simple if you open yourself up to learning the right way to do it. Okay? And that's what we're here for tonight. So I'm going to now discuss the edge and where the edge came from. So as you can see here, I started trading in April of 2000. And if I remember the date correctly, it was April 17th of 2000. That's how much it meant to me to finally start trading. But what you see here is an old school, what's known as a level 2 box. And in the office that I traded, we used to have to call a stock out. So if we bought stock on the bid, which that's what advertising over here does, and you can see it's in fractions, they're not in fractions anymore, we'd have to call out, say, Goldman Sachs bought my stock, or Goldman Sachs, in this case, if you're buying stock, Goldman Sachs sold me the stock. So what does that mean? That means that if Goldman Sachs is buying stock on the bid and the price starts to go higher and time and sales where transactions are going, this is the tape, starts to print green, 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 green. That means that the stock is well bid. Goldman, or the smart money, as it was back in 2000, is supporting the stock. They're buying the stock. They have order flow for either themselves or for their institutions. Think about this. Now, a lot of this is electronic now. That's the biggest question I get. Oh, it's a 100-share trade. It doesn't matter. Didn't you see a stock move from $50 to $65 in a week? They're still smart money. They're just doing it differently. So that's the question. How do you identify something that you learned back in 2000 into today's market? How do you avoid reading level 2 and going blind, watching the quotes go like this all day? That's what I'm going to show you right now. I struggled for the longest time to come up with how do I read order flow based on what I used to do, based on the meetings that I had that I talked about at the beginning of the call tonight with the specialists from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. They taught me how they worked order flow. I taught them how I read trading and the tape from the screen, and we eventually came up with what I call well bid and well offered. So if you remember what I said over here, if there was a lot of selling here, people were selling, 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 and Goldman Sachs was just sitting on the bid, buy him, buy him, buy him, I'll take him, give him all to me, give him all to me. That meant we'd call out in the office and say that stock is well bid. Well bid meant there was a serious buyer in that stock. Let that sink in for a second. Very important. So what I came up with was how do we tell this same story using candlestick charts without watching every print, 100 shares, 100 shares, 100 shares, 100 shares. You drive yourself crazy. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. What I want to do is make it easy so I don't have to think too hard, so I can repeat it, and tell in 2 seconds whether or not I want to be in that stock. No indicators, none. Just what you're looking at right now, okay? So well bid, yep, Stephen, very good. Well bid means demand. So well bid means higher highs and higher lows in whatever time frame you're looking at. Now, here's the key. When well bid happens on a 5-minute chart, an hourly chart, a daily chart, a weekly chart, a monthly chart, you start to get this picture where smart money is now allocating capital over time. And the same thing happens on the other side of the market. This is well offered. Quite a few stocks during September were well offered, where they were making lower lows and lower highs, where at that moment, the smart money was selling. Now think about if you can imagine right now, everything you have on your monitor while you're trading, and think about all of the garbage you have on your screen trying to make a decision. When we just boiled all of trading down to, is the smart money doing something obvious? Write that down. It is life-changing what I just said. Is the smart money doing something obvious? And anybody who's in the community right now will attest to this. Every single morning we have coaching calls, and I'm very clear. If somebody calls out a stock that I'm like, no, I explain why. I'm like, that stock is not screaming at me to get involved. There's not institutional order flow active in that stock. Remember when we talked about 10 perfect trades and avoiding those black marks on the trade where bad trade, bad trade, bad trade. When you understand order flow, which I'm going to show you on the screen in a second in a little bit more detail in today's markets, in an instant, you'll know whether or not you want to be involved. In an instant, you'll know whether or not it's a good idea or a so-so idea. I'm going to talk about that right now. Next thing we're going to talk about is change from the open, confirming your bias in order flow. So if you could imagine your stock has order flow over the last day, the last week, the last month. Now all of a sudden you're like, okay, the market opens. Now what do I do? Well, we have this other line in the sand, and this is a part of tape reading. This is a part of order flow, and that's change from the open. Great traders, profitable traders seek confirmation. So what we want to know is the longer term order flow active now. Is right now's trading in sync with what the smart money's been doing over the last month, 2 months, 2 days, 5 days? We want to know if today's order flow is trading with the long-term order flow. Change from the open gives us this answer. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. I'm going to blow your mind when we talk about watch lists in a couple of seconds. You take the last price and its relationship to the open price. Now, the big thing you're going to ask is this only a 5-minute chart or 1-minute chart? No, it's every single candlestick you will look at. And we'll show you that in a second. So the color of your candlestick in that time frame tells you the difference between the open and the last price. So if it's a green candlestick and a big green candlestick, that means the difference between the open and where it traded is green, right? Big green or big red. We just talked about that with well bid and well offered. Here's the key then. This is what you want to write down. Perfect trades happen when those two scenarios are in sync. Well bid and positive change from the open. The further you get from perfect, the longer it takes you to get paid. So remember, all the way in the beginning, we talked about struggling and learning how to get away from bad ideas. We just described to you life-changing information about how to avoid poor ideas, which keeps your account intact, which is very important, and your ego and your mindset, right? And your confidence. And then you get to the other side where you really understand order flow, tape reading, and how to manage those winning trades. So change from the open in order flow. This is a chart of DocuSign, and you can see order flow in the monthly chart, the weekly chart, and the daily chart. And just in an instant now, just with what you learned tonight, you can spot well-bid candlesticks on the monthly chart. Opened here, closed up here during this month, opened here, closed here, and look at this 5-month period and the days that produced massive winners in the direction of this order flow. I can understand right now, you're like, oh, that's great. That's a stock from 6 weeks ago. What does that do for me now, right? Big deal. Anybody can pick out a chart from August or July, right? August, and this actually wasn't August, this was July, but big deal, show me something that's going on right now. Well, here you go. Here you go. This is a stock that we trade every single day for the last couple of weeks in our community. This is one of the biggest winning stocks that we've traded. And if you look at it, well bid for a few months, well bid for 4 weeks, and look at the opportunities of a $19 stock hitting $41 today. One of the biggest complaints that I hear from people that are giving excuses of why they're not making money is my account's not big enough. I can't trade Apple. This stock was $19 this month. If you're understanding order flow, if you understand how to read the tape and you understand how to enter the right trades, you don't need to trade Apple to pay yourself every month. This is literally one of the stocks in our watch list right now. Literally. Okay. So moving on, when order flow changes. So we just identified when it looks super obvious. How do you know when it becomes challenging? How do you know when to dial it back? How do you know when to stop trading that stock aggressively? Well, the first one is you start losing money, right? Let's be real, right? We're all traders here, right? The second one is, if you look at this chart here on the weekly chart, remember how beautiful this looked and how perfect this looked? Higher highs, higher lows, green. Well, the tape started to change here. The tape started to change here. The weekly chart stopped being obvious. So remember we said before, the closer you get to perfect, you can feel confident and take every trade. As you start to move away from perfect, that's when trading becomes challenging. And that's when you start to doubt yourself, when it's not the market, it's you're not paying attention and you're not in great ideas anymore, okay? So change from the open, remember we said the longer time frame order flow in sync with the current time frame. This is the opening line right here. So this is a 5-minute chart of Fastly, and you can see that price action the entire day was above the opening price. And this is, we actually had a trade today, literally at the end of the day today, in the SPY ETF. That was good for $2 in roughly 10 minutes. And exactly unfolded the way that we predicted about 15 minutes before it happened. True story. True story. So anyway, the FSLY is showing change from the open price. If this stock was bullish order flow, well bid on the daily, weekly, and monthly, this stock would have been something you would have traded very aggressively, because today's order flow, because it's above the open price, is confirming the longer term order flow. JP Morgan's a different story. Let's say, for argument's sake, you came into the day and you wanted to be a buyer of JP Morgan. In this particular window, it was below the opening price the entire day. So literally, just like that, you say, JP Morgan's in my list, but I'm not trading it today. How many stocks would you like to go back to that you lost money in the last 6 months? So I don't understand why I couldn't make money in that stock. This is why. Today's order flow was not in sync with the smart money. Today is when you're trading, okay? So next, how to profitably trade a big list of stocks. You'd be like, that's great. The one stock I was in today didn't move. Thanks, Pete. Now what? Well, now I'm going to show you how to have 10 stocks in your list and only trade the stocks that are perfect right now. We call this your watch list, and more succinctly, watch list domination. The watch list that we have has some very specific criteria. You will notice I don't have anything on here other than change from the open and change from the close. See O and change? What we are looking for are stocks today that have buying pressure coming into the day, and right now from the open have a big green candle. So this allows us, change from the open right here, to have a huge list of stocks, but only focus on the best opportunities. All in real time without pulling up one chart. As soon as we find an opportunity that matches our game plan that we came into the day, only focus on those stocks. And you can see we also have the same thing with the market. So you have a stock watch, a watch list of the indices with change from the open and change from the close. Then you have a watch list of change from the open and change from the close in your stocks. So here's the game plan, and here's what actually happens. So let's say you make a watch list during the day. You attend our game plan meeting at 8:45. You go into the game plan and say, okay, we made an argument. There's 7 stocks I'm going to put in my list today, and now the market opens. And 4 stocks are going straight down. You're not even looking at them because they're negative from the open on your watch list. Out of the 7, only 3 are doing what you want them to do. And you know what I'll get? Ironically, I get people say, 4 stocks didn't do what I thought they were going to do. They're like, yeah, but 3 did exactly what you thought they were going to do. It only takes 1 stock every day to do exactly what you thought it was going to do. Let that sink in. You could plan for 7, watch your watch list, only 1 stock doing exactly what you wanted it to do. The other 6 don't even matter. Focus on the one that you plan to say, if this stock does this and does this and does this, I'm all over it and I'm getting paid today. That's the power of order flow and having that watch list after the market opens. Simple, but you need to follow the steps. Remember we said before, paying attention is what separates somebody who struggles from somebody who keeps making that same mistake over and over again. And that's my job, is to teach you what to pay attention to. Should we work together? All right. So next, we covered 10 perfect trades, which is understanding only take 10 trades. Then we looked at order flow. Then we look at the tape. So I'm actually going to answer Mohammed's question. Hopefully, Mohammed, I just answered that question. If we have 10 stocks in the watch list, we're only trading a couple of them, are all 10 on that day? This is actually an advanced question. I encourage you to take every single trade that matches your criteria. So if you get 5 trades that unfold that are in your list, meet your criteria, and they're good signals and good trades, I'd rather see you trade 100 shares of all 5 than 500 shares of one trade, because you're speeding up getting to those 10 perfect trades. Because here's what happens. 3 might do exactly, remember we just proved it before, 3 might do exactly what you thought, 2 might come down and stop you out, but now you have 3 trades doing exactly what you thought. You got feedback from the market. Order flows back, baby. Add to those, and that's how you get paid. Keep your losses small and learn when and how to add to the winners, which ironically is what we're going to talk about now, which is tape reading. Okay, tape reading is what we call building an argument for a trade. Raise your hand if you've ever put on a trade and you said, gosh, that's a great 5-minute flag, or that's support. That's not an argument for a trade. It's not. That is the reason not to lose money, but that doesn't mean the probabilities are stacked in your favor. Does not mean the same thing. So weak arguments, you stay in cash. Now what we're talking about, order flow, change from the open, change from the close. Those are all pieces of building the argument. Brad, I'll have the video for you. Look for an email tomorrow. Okay? So tape reading will determine if your trade should be for cash flow or a position that you should build and hold. So tape reading tells you how to profitably manage your winners. Very big deal. Remember we talked about at the beginning, the biggest thing holding most people back is managing and holding winning trades. Okay, so you're going to know your trade management before you even put it on. This is order flow, and this is where the trade is right now. Okay, tape reading overcomes the frustration of holding winners too long or exiting too soon, because you're saying, what is the market doing? What is the sector doing? How far has the stock moved for the last 3 to 5 days? This is what separates chart readers from tape readers. Chart readers are looking for patterns. Tape readers are looking for money. Tape readers are looking for probability. Type yes if you'd like to make the leap from chart reader to tape reader, from somebody looking for stochastics to somebody looking for money. That's why we're here tonight, isn't it? We're here to make money. We're here to learn how to make money. And actually, you know what? I'm going to introduce the wall of success to everybody right now. I'm going to type this into the chat. I wanted to save this for a little bit, but I wanted to give everybody full context that I'm not just talking about what I can do. I want to show everybody what members of our community can do, because I'm very proud of everybody in the community. So while we're doing the presentation, if you could just click on that link and see what some of the other members of the community are doing, I think that it will give some context to everything that we're talking about now. So Roku is an example of reading the tape. Now this is pretty interesting, because remember how we talked about before with stocks being well bid and being perfect, but then the tape changed and trading became tougher. So we stayed away from it. So when you combine order flow with consistency of order flow with monthly, weekly, daily, and the watch list, all of a sudden everything changes. Now you're in control of when you get paid, because you're in control of which trades you should take. Okay? Apple's a different story. Apple's order flow was very clean, and the tape stayed the same. So the tape is how persistent is the order flow and how long has the order flow been going on. So the principles of tape reading is, number 1, to determine if your stock is in play. Number 2 is to know exactly what your stock should do today. Did it close strong? What does that mean? Did it close weak? What does that mean? How many days did it close weak? How long has it been a buy? That's what tape reading means. You need to know whether you should swing trade the stock or day trade the stock, or both. Remember, I talked about it every day at 8:45 in our game plan meeting. We know exactly whether the stock is a swing trade, which most of them are, and if it's not, we give the reasons why we might only be day trading it that day. You'll know your profit targets before you enter the trade. Think about this. Before I mentioned, we have 8 different ways of exiting profits. Could you imagine, just picture it right now, before you put on your next trade, you know exactly what the profit target is? No sweat, literally before you put the trade on. That's control, my friend. Some of the key concepts to understand: as institutions work orders, the market tends to make highs or lows every 3 to 5 days. That's kind of the window that we're looking at. A 6 or 7 day in one direction may occur with strong order flow. And we'll remember, we said, you want to make the most on the great situations. Remember JKS, we just showed you, that's been an amazing opportunity for us this month in what we all agreed was a tough month. We found the money because we found the order flow. As the market alternates between buying and selling pressure, the market saturates, a value area gets hit, and then we book profits and look for the next trade. Very big key point there for understanding how to read the tape. Okay? So the massive implication of tape reading is simple. When you trade with order flow plus tape reading, you become the money-making asset. Could you please just visualize right now, regardless of what the market is doing, you're in charge of making money. We say it all day, every day in our community. You are the reason you're successful because you know what you're looking at. That's where success comes from, knowing what you're looking at. Okay? So there's certain life-changing moments where you make decisions where you can continue to be a chart reader with all of those indicators on your screen, and which, by the way, you saw that was an exact screenshot of, and real chart of what I trade with. There was no indicators on the screen. We can continue to bang your head against the wall and be frustrated and not make money by being the best chart reader on the planet. Or you could learn how to read the order flow. You could learn how to be a tape reader, and you could put yourself in position to get paid. Now, if you clicked on that link, you can see that what I'm talking about tonight is just not me talking about my success. You can see that what I'm showing you tonight in this short time period that we're here together works, for lack of a better way of putting it. It's one thing for me to say, it's another thing for members of our community to be achieving some amazing success. And I'm very proud to be a part of this community. So what I'd like to do now, I'd like to talk to you about trading like a pro, which is the last part of the magic of being a part of the stock market and having control over your day, your week, your month, because you can pull money out of the market. You're making the stock market make you money. So becoming a trader, it means you're trading the right shares at the right time. It means that you're working your orders. It means that you have the share size that you're supposed to have on at the right time. You're not simply placing trades. You're working each trade within the order flow. That's the difference. You're not just reading the charts. In the community, you'll often hear me say, press your winners, scale your profits, work your orders, get feedback. I am literally trade by trade telling you which stocks are the best ideas, where to get into those stocks, how to manage the position in those stocks until you could make those decisions yourself. That's what I give you, and that's what's going on in our community. All day, every day. Yes, Terry, we do speak about options all day, every day, because there's some swing trades or situations where options are called for within the context of order flow. So yeah, that's a good question. So my job, what I love to do, hopefully that comes out tonight, is I love to teach you, and I want to teach you how to be a pro, and I'd like to work with you if you're qualified, quite honestly. If you believe and you can look in the mirror and say you're coachable and you're willing to commit to being successful, we could be a good fit to work together. We could be a fit for you to ask me questions in real time. Okay? Yeah, Jeremy, that's a good question. We actually talked about that before. All of our trades are swing trades, and the pre-market meeting is recorded, so you don't have to be in the meeting or in the community all day. You can just watch the video and see which stocks are playing, and you can download a Slack app on your phone and see what stocks are calling out there. Okay? So the bottom line and a big question is, I'm coaching you, number one, to believe in yourself, because quite frankly, some people have a hard time seeing what I know is inside of you. I will show you what you already have deep down inside. Look, if you're here right now, I know you have what it takes. You just need a little bit of direction. That's all you need. You need a little point in the right direction, and then that confidence grows day after day, week after week. And I know we have Dennis here with us tonight. Dennis has made some amazing strides in the community over the last couple of months. Dennis Edom. So I'm trading with you as well. I'm giving you my entries. I'm giving you my exits. I'm giving you the exact trades. It's best if you mimic me in the beginning and learn why I'm taking those trades, and then you get the confidence to start calling out those trades yourself. I'm also telling you when to do nothing. I'm telling you when to be in cash so that you could eventually say, you know what, I don't see anything. There's nothing for me to do right now. I show you how and when to preserve your capital as much as I show you how and when to hold your winners. Now, very quickly, which I think is pretty important, a lot of people ask, what is the criteria that I trade with? And this is the bare minimum criteria that I look at before I even look to put on a trade. Average 2 million shares traded per day, average true range of $1.50. So this gives me liquidity to get in and out where I want to, and it also gives me volatility so I have opportunity. Write that down. That's the minimum criteria before I even start to look at a trade. And this has worked for me over 20 years. And the minimum price of $20. So that's the criteria. So that will actually probably boil down all of the stocks on Wall Street to probably about 200 or 300. And that's all that matters. I want to trade the winners. I want to trade the market leaders. ATR is average true range. Average true range means the low to the high averaged over 14 days. And that's the amount of money or amount that stock fluctuates during the day. So average true range means the minimum profit opportunity. $1.50 is the minimum. It could be as much as $40 if you're looking at Zoom right now, right? So those are the 4 steps to trading success that I teach, and we could go over every single day if we decide to work together. I hope that, at the beginning of the call, we had mentioned what do you risk per trade, and we said the average for the room right now, people in the call right now, is anywhere between $500 and $2,000 per trade. Think about that. That's how much you risk for one trade, which could be over in an instant. And what did you really learn from that, right? So what I'd like to do, what I'm very proud of tonight, and as you can see in the Stock Trading Pro 2020 Wall of Success, we have massive, massive growth in our community as far as people actually achieving real money dollars. And what I'd like to do tonight, I'd like to invite you to be a part of our community. I'll be honest with you, I just can't tell you how proud I am of our community. And tonight, I'd like to invite you to trade with me in real time over the next 30 days. It's essentially a 30-day online boot camp where you get everything. And I'm going to explain what that is right now. But the obvious question is, if this is so great, why am I sharing it? If everything is so awesome, why am I sharing it? And it really comes down to, I want you to be on my wall of success. I want you to be up there saying, I can't believe this. I didn't think I could make $1,000 a week. I made $3 this week. That's what I want to give to you. But I need you to take the first step. I need you to make a tiny, tiny investment in yourself, which is only $295 for the next 30 days. And I want to walk you through exactly what you get, because there is a ton of quality, real trader experience that you're about to get from me. And you can see I'm going through this quickly because you can see a lot of these on the wall of success, but I'm actually very fortunate that we have a lot of these to discuss. And I really hope that you can see that this is not just me talking, we're changing lives here. And I really hope that you are the next life that we change in a way where you feel control over what you're doing. So everything that I'm about to explain to you, all of the experience that we've covered tonight, how to use order flow, how to read the tape, how to think like a trader, how to act like a trader, 30 days of everything that I have for only a one-time investment of $295. And I'm going to walk you through everything that is included in the 30-day boot camp. But first, I'm going to put the link in here so that you can get started tonight, because we only take so many people per month. And I'd really like for you to step up. If you're here right now listening to this and you want to make the greatest investment that you could possibly make in your future, and again, if you could think about what you risk per trade versus what you get over the course of 30 days and beyond if we decide to work together. But remember, this is a one-time 30-day investment of only $295. Let's see, Keith asking, how much time each day does one need to be available? Keith, as we said, you could be a full-time employee somewhere else and go through the community be involved in the game plan meeting in the morning, watch the game plan video while you're at the job or even when you're on your computer at your job, and then watch the swing trades. You don't have to be in the community all day. If you can, that's great. If you can, that's great. So again, I want to be very clear. To be in the boot camp, you get full access to everything I'm about to go over with you, and then we'll talk about it. The first is the order flow masterclass, which is the building blocks to understanding order flow and technical analysis. Mark, after the 30-day boot camp, if you decide to stick around with us, you can invest in more time to be in the boot camp. So this is really what I want to say, and this is actually a really important point that I want to bring up. $295 is such a tiny investment for anybody who's serious about themselves, anybody who's serious about the craft of learning how to be a trader. But that's it. It's no more than $295. There's no subscription. There's no renewal. It's $295. And I'm going to tell you why. I want the 30 days that we spend together to prove to you that you can do this. I want the 30-day boot camp to show you exactly how to think and act like a trader. And then only you can decide if you want to remain in the community after that. Yes, Bill, very good question. I'm a newbie taking the boot camp. Is there pre-market and all day long giving advice worth? Oh, thank you, Bill. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. Thank you so much for typing that in there, Bill. Bill is actually a member of the boot camp. Thank you so much. So the first thing that you get is the online home study course, which is the Order Flow Masterclass. Also, you get training that is how to make money, right? That's what we're here today. We're not here to be the greatest technical analyst in the world. We want entry tactics. We want profit targets, we want stop losses, and we want order types. Really, the bottom line is we want to grow your account, and that how to make money modules is how to do that. Next is how to trade with conviction. We walk you through how to create a trading plan within the context of order flow. We teach you the right risk and money management. This is probably, in my opinion, the two things that are the most valuable part of what we do, besides what I'm covering right now, which is only the home study courses, is the game planning. Every single morning, we review stocks that are in play today, and we build arguments for why they're great ideas or, don't bother. The game plan meeting is crucial to success, and that happens every day. And again, like was asked before, if you can't be in the meeting at 8:45, the video recording is available immediately, and all you got to do is click on that link to watch the video to see what stocks are in play that day. Randall, very good question, and here's the key, and I want to get this across so it really hits home. I encourage you to trade with 100 shares. It doesn't matter how big your account is. You can definitely trade with 100 shares, which that would match a small account. We just talked about a $19 stock before. You could absolutely trade 100 shares of a $19 stock. Tom, good question. Terry, good question. Should we watch the modules before we take part in the morning call? Yes and no. Yes and no, because what I'm going to tell you is once you sign in, here's how the 30-day is best unfolding. What you want to start out with is you want to watch the game plan meetings with us and observe what good trades look like. Then you want to go into the archive of the coaching calls that we have every Monday night. Then you'll get up to speed really quickly. Then you start working your way into the home study courses that we're looking at right now, and everything starts to come together, and that's when you really start to ask questions. What happens after taking the boot camp to stay in the community? Then we have a conversation, Dave. Then we have a phone call to determine if we're a good fit to work together after the boot camp. I will tell you this, most people stay in the boot camp. The only people that don't just decided that they're going to stick with their full-time job and they don't have the time for it. But think about this. For a $295 investment in the rest of your life, if that's too much money for you, I don't know. You really got to think about whether trading is for you. We talked about $500 to $2,000 per trade. I want to make this clear. You could trade with as little as 100 shares per trade. And as a matter of fact, I encourage you to, regardless of how big your account is, because I want you to learn how to trade and not be afraid. I want you to confidently place trades. All times are Eastern. Yep, we're in regular trading hours. Regular trading hours. Next, another home study course is required experience. We call this Street Smarts. This is all of the stuff that I covered tonight, but in a lot more detail about what it really takes to be a successful trader. Then we also have the mindset of being a winning trader. And I'll tell you right now, you are what you think about. And I'm telling you, if you've read Think and Grow Rich or any of the great personal development stuff, I will make you think like a winner. I will force you out of your comfort zone. I will make you want to be how awesome I know is inside of you. But you have to take the first step. You have to get started. The access to the home study courses are available only while you're in an active bootcamp membership. The tape reading room is training within inside of the bootcamp. So the tape reading room is our real-time Slack community. Okay, so tape reading and saturation plays. What I will tell you now is this saturation play course, which is a 90-minute course by itself, is one that actually changed my life. It will literally alter everything you've ever thought about the stock market just in this one course. So that's the home study courses. Then we get into the coaching calls. Each Monday night, we have coaching calls that typically last anywhere from 1 hour to 90 minutes. 1 hour to 90 minutes. These coaching calls are invaluable, and I'll tell you why. These coaching calls are focused on your biggest questions, your biggest obstacles, the goals that you want to achieve. That's why I said before that the first thing you want to do when you get started, come to the game plan meetings and then watch the coaching call archive. I just got a couple of private messages. You can click on that link to get started. Gary, that's a good question. Do I have a preferred company? I actually don't, but most of the members in the community use E-Trade, Charles Schwab, TD Ameritrade, or TradeStation, or Interactive Brokers, one of those. A lot of people that trade options using the order flow method, a lot of people use Thinkorswim, which I think is TD Ameritrade. Okay, so you also get, again, all of this is included. Everything I just talked about was 4 different classes in 5 different modules, the Monday night coaching calls, the tape reading room, which is our private Slack community. Now, what's inside of it? We have 7 different channels devoted to different topics of learning. Some of them are calling out trades. Some of them are identifying opportunities. Some of them are talking about what we're doing on the weekend. Okay. Yes, Keith, program is absolutely usable with options. Absolutely. Absolutely. So the game plan meeting, this is what it looks like every single day at 8:45. We have an online meeting where everybody calls out trade ideas. I first start out with my view of the market, what trades I'm looking at, and then members of the community, you can see here, Gary called out his trades, and then we started to look those over. Absolutely invaluable. And you know what's a big part of the game plan meetings as well is the mindset that I put you in prior to the market trading. Stephen, you can actually click the link. I'll give you the link here again. I would strongly recommend you get started tonight because the month starts tomorrow. It's 30 days from the day you sign up. But look, we just covered a lot of material tonight. And if $295 for everything that we're talking about tonight is something that you're not sure if it's for you, it's probably not for you. I have to be honest with you. We want to work with people that want to be coached. We want to work with people that want to learn. A $295 investment for 30 days to get everything that I do, including my entries and exits in real time, it's probably one of the best investments you could make this entire year, if not in your lifetime. And I don't say that lightly. So the game plan meetings every day at 8:45 also included, besides the Monday coaching calls. Then we have my trade ideas, where I am literally every single day calling out the idea, calling out the stock, calling out where to get in, calling out what price to get in. We have an entire channel devoted just for me walking you through the ideas. Elias, the cost after 30 days is not something we talk about tonight. We have a phone call after 30 days to determine if we're a good fit to work together. My associate, Rick Meadows, will be, he's a trader counselor with our company, and he will know whether or not we're a good long-term fit. But the $295 is kind of the gateway to get into our community. So those are the trade ideas. Then we have swing trades. And this is important because a lot of people tonight, we answered the question, what if I have to keep my full-time job? 100% you can keep your full-time job in the community. The courses are home study courses. And all of the ideas we call out in the game plan are first and foremost swing trades. Okay? So you can keep your full-time job and learn how to be a professional trader. If you happen to be an active trader full-time, obviously we'd love to have you in the community all day, every day. What's exciting too is Slack is actually an app that you could download on your phone. So even if you're at your job full time, you could watch on your phone when you have a minute to see what's in play that day. Bell, thank you so much for typing that in there. I really appreciate that. You might have to type that into everybody, but thank you so much. Bell, if you could do me a favor and put that into all attendees, I really appreciate that. Okay, so swing trade ideas and then tape reading. Tape reading is lessons. So you can see here real time, we're actually giving lessons as well as the market's unfolding. So it's not just trades, it's not just the home study. I am literally walking you through how to make your trading account grow and how to minimize your risk when the market is tough, okay? And you also get these ebook downloads. The first one is Foundations in Tape Reading. Obviously, we go over tape reading in a lot more detail than we covered tonight. You'll learn that tape reading is the missing piece for a lot of traders, and you'll experience what it means to feel every day to make money because you expect to make money. Next, how winning traders think. This is actually a very personal one for me because this was me speaking to one of my traders in New York City, really walking them through a tough challenge in their career and getting them to the other side to fully understand that they had the ability to do it, turn them around, and got to the point now where they're actually mentoring traders themselves, somebody that I am really excited to work with. No, Emilio, you can actually sign up any day. The bootcamp works from 30 days that you sign up. 30 days from sign up. Oh, by the way, a question I just got asked before is when do you get access to everything? You actually get access to everything immediately. So as soon as you sign up, you get your username and password to jump right into the home study materials so you can get started at your own pace. That's actually a big deal too. Nate, that's actually a good question. You do not have to have a $25,000 account to be in the community. You do need to have a $25,000 account to day trade, but that's what our goal is, right? Our goal is for you to take some swing trades to get your account over 25,000, and then if and when you are available to day trade, you can jump in there. Okay. The next one is you get the Taylor notes. This is actually inspired by a grain trader, which is the foundation of my tape reading principles. And I wrote down here, it's priceless. And I can tell you this, once you understand how to read saturation points, once you understand how to, and actually we had a really big profitable trade in Workhorse this week, it changes everything. It literally changes everything. This was actually written in 1955. So that's the end of tonight's presentation. I would love to stick around and answer any questions, but more importantly, if you're still on the call right now, if you're still on the presentation, which there's quite a few people on the call right now, I am imploring you to look in the mirror right now and ask yourself, am I getting the results that I want? If the answer is no, something's missing. I'm presenting to you right now my 20 years of experience for a tiny investment of $295 for you to be with me in real time for the next 30 days, get all of my courses, the exact trades that I make, get in on my game plan meetings in the morning, and join my coaching calls for $295. If that's too much for you, trading might not be for you. This is less than most people risk on one trade. It's half of what we all agree that we risk on one trade tonight. If you have further questions, I will stay here as long as it takes for you to understand. If you are here right now, there might be a gap in between where you are and where you want to be. And actually, you know what? I want to ask you a question. If you could imagine making a certain dollar amount per month, and you gave me that number, and I said, now double it. If you said I couldn't do that, that means that there's something missing, and that's what we want to work on together. That's what we want to work on together. So I'm going to post the link in here one more time. If you have any further questions about the bootcamp, I would absolutely encourage you to ask them now. I want you to make an informed decision. I want you to understand that $295 to join the bootcamp and be with me in my community. My community is just as valuable as being with me. We have an amazing group of people in the community. Yep, Emilio, we've all been there. It's my job to help you get to the next side. Thank you, Jennifer. I really appreciate you being here tonight. Yes, absolutely, Jennifer. Absolutely. Stephen Power, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Gregory Williams, thank you. So again, everybody, really all I'm asking you to do right now, I would just need you to ask yourself, am I getting the results that I want? And what's stopping me from taking this next step? If you're a trader and you understand risk reward, the upside compared to the $295 investment is astronomical. The upside for the $295, and quite honestly, you're not investing in me, you're investing in yourself. You have to look in the mirror right now and ask yourself, am I worth investing $295 in? That's what you're really asking yourself. It's not about me. I've proven to you in my wall of success, and everybody in the community has shown you that what we teach, what we do every day in the community works. Right now, if you are not sure if you want to invest the $295, that means that we need to do some soul searching, because you're investing in yourself right now. That's what we're asking you to take a look at. 30 days of full access of 5 different home study courses, my group coaching calls, my real-time community, and you get my trades on top of that. Jeff Wong, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Stephen Power, that's awesome to hear. That's awesome to hear. I love hearing about that. Mark Evans, if you are a first-time trader, you need to be in there more than anybody, quite honestly. I want you to learn the right way to get started from scratch so you don't have to unlearn bad habits. That's so important. And honestly, Mark Evans, that's a great question. It matters to new traders, because think about all of the money you will save by not being in bad trades, by only taking good ideas. If for some reason you are not able to sign up, I'm going to put our email in here. You can email support and we will get you squared away. So it's support@stocktradingpro.com. If for some reason you're unable to fill that out, just let me know. Shoot us an email. We'll get you taken care of tonight. Paul Quaranto, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Earl, if you can't sign up, just let me know. John O'Connor, thank you so much for being here all night. I want you to know how much I appreciate it. Stephen Dudley, looking forward to emailing you. Can't wait to see you in there. Elizabeth, thank you so much for being here tonight. Andrew, awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, actually get a good night's sleep, because tomorrow's going to be exciting. Todd Van Maren, come on, man. We've been talking for a while. Get in there. Dilip, you have access to everything as long as you're in the boot camp. And if you want to continue after the boot camp, I'd love to discuss that with you too. Florence, that's actually a great statement. So I would never try and change what you believe works, but I can absolutely help you improve what you're doing now. That I don't have any question about. And you know what really is a big deal too, is really learning how to think like a trader. And even something as simple as what we discussed tonight, which being okay with losing trades and admitting, was it a good trade that didn't make money or was it a bad trade? That's really a huge part of understanding how to trade and actually how to get profitable and to get consistent. So Florence, I think this is going to be a really nice experience for you. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm very glad you brought that up. Jeremy, thank you. I really appreciate that. I really care, Jeremy. I hope that comes out in the videos. I really care. I want to teach what works. I want to give experience of what you can actually use tomorrow. Stuart, I will check. I don't want to look now because I want to answer everybody's questions, but take the email down, support@stocktradingpro.com. And if you don't hear from us in the next 15, 20 minutes, I will email you that it didn't come through. So that's the link to get started. Hope to see everybody in tomorrow's call. And again, I'm not gonna use any sales techniques. I don't want to use them because I want you to make an informed decision. And it really comes down to, if you look in the mirror right now, you just have to ask yourself, are you getting the results that you know you're capable of? And if the answer comes back, you know that there's more inside of you, I strongly encourage you to invest in yourself tonight. Thank you, Tim Coffey. I really appreciate that. That's a good question, Terry. Terry Lombard. I'm sorry if I said that wrong, but typically we start at 8:45 and we run up to around 9:20, 9:25 sometimes. And that whole call is designed to look at the best trade ideas so that we're ready as soon as the market opens. That's a good question, Terry. But what's interesting about that too is that's just the pre-market call. I'm literally giving lessons the entire day. So that's just getting ready for the day. I'm giving lessons the entire day. Emilio, I love that attitude. I absolutely love that attitude. That is awesome. Absolutely awesome. If for some reason you couldn't get through, I'm going to actually put it in here again. Support@stocktradingpro.com. My typing skills aren't the best. Stocktradingpro.com. That's a mistake. Yes, Terry, the link, absolutely. Yep. All right, Earl, I'm going to email you in a few minutes, Earl. It's actually support@stocktradingpro.com. I typed that in wrong. Let me do that again. There you go. Byron, thank you so much for being here tonight. It really means a lot to me. Thank you. You know, Nasser, that's not actually necessary because you can still pretend. Let's say you even opened your account tomorrow and it took 3 or 4 days. You can still get great, and matter of fact, probably better for you to be paying attention without trading so that you can really observe the morning call. You can get into the study videos. You can get into the coaching call videos. So there's really nothing wrong with getting started right away. I wouldn't wait. Honestly, I wouldn't wait. Why put off success? Remember we said at the beginning of the call, winners take action. I'm going to put the link in here just one more time. And if anybody has any questions, I'll be more than happy to stick around. If not, I think we're going to call it a night. Hey, Mark, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And thank you so much about the marriage. Yeah, I'm really excited. I got very lucky. I got very lucky. Dilip, that's a good question. We focus on both. We focus on both. We focus on chart trading opportunities, reading the tape and the order flow, and also how those would play into options trades. So we actually do have a pretty decent community that also trades options with us using what we teach. David Wilson, great to see you here tonight. Thank you so much. Andrew Garber, awesome. Awesome, awesome. Georgia, very proud of you. Thank you for getting started. Hey, Stephen, that's awesome. Hopefully you get a lot of value out of those emails too. I really put a lot into those. That's my 5 a.m. wake-up call, getting that stuff together. Stephen Power, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Have a great night. Joseph, it looks like it's me and you. Thank you so much, pal. I really appreciate it. All right, everybody, I'm going to call it a night. If you have any questions, you can email me at support@stocktradingpro.com, and hopefully we will see you in the community. Let me just put this link in there one more time, and we will call it a night. Ralph Embry, thank you so much. That means a lot to me. It really does. Yeah, when somebody watches the videos and tells me that they've enjoyed them, that really means a lot to me. Thank you for letting me know. Sammy, thank you for being here, pal. Jerry Hinkle, thank you. Thank you so much. All right, everybody, we're going to call it a night. If you have any questions, you can reach me at support@stocktradingpro.com. And the link is right there for the checkout. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.